Hey ladies and gentlemen, Wolf Crier here and welcome to my Friday night Diablo video. So in this video what I want to do is review the best monk builds for Season 10. Those monk builds that will allow you to do a solo 70 plus in order to start farming those primal ancients or progressing yourself onto the leaderboards. So not all of these builds are going to be top tier builds, but definitely viable for 70 plus GRs. So we're going to actually start off this video with the Dps Support Monk. Now I know what you're thinking. I thought this video was best solo monk builds for higher GRs, and you're right, but I want to tell you that if you are running monk next season, and even if you aren't pushing with a monk, having one of these in your arsenal can greatly help both you and your group. Having a DPS monk, which is the most sought after monk in group play, allows you to group at higher GRs, which allows you to level your Paragon and your legendary gems for augmenting your gear. I always advocate for playing the game how you want to play, but being able to help your group while also advancing how far your own solo build can go is always a good thing. The most popular support monk is the DPS Heal Monk, though there are different variations on this build. The DPS has no real GR cap and is used in 115 plus GRs by the best groups in the world. Next up, and the first solo monk build that we have, is the Wilcos Wave of Light build. This build is excellent for farming T10 to T12 speeds in order to get keys and mats. This build turns your monk into a ranged nuker and is pretty fun to play, even if only for farming. This build is capable of running 75 plus solo GRs with good gear, and in Season 6, Quinn69 had done a 91 with this build. It is very hard to push into the 90s with this build, so it's definitely not top tier. Then we have the Uliana Stratagem Exploding Palm build. Although in its current state it can no longer compete with the likes of the two Spirit Generator builds on this list or Inna's Exploding Palm, this is still a fairly fun build capable of GRs 80 to 85. Both EP builds on this list excel at taking down huge groups of mobs. If Blizzard would buff this build slightly, it could easily give monks yet another build capable of running GR 90s. The next build on this list is my personal build, the one I created and ran during the majority of Season 9, the Burning Monk, an Essence Burn EP generator hybrid. With the buffs to the Innis set coming in Season 10, this build moves into the 85 plus GR category, right along with Uliana's EP. This build was pretty fun to run and deals a ton of fire damage in dense GRs. I personally loved running this build and will possibly still run it to farm keys and mats in Season 10. Up next we have LTK. There are two versions of this build. The Wilcos version, in which you need to keep your stacks of Sweeping Wind in order to deal your Lashing Tail kick damage, is capable of 80 plus GRs, while the LON version is one of the top 4 builds, capable of 95 plus GRs. The LON is much harder to gear for, but once you have all of your ancients, this build deals massive damage. Now onto the Innas builds. With Season 10 coming and yet another buff coming to the Innas set, this puts at least 2 Innas builds into the top of the leaderboards, both now capable of 95 plus solo pushes. The first of these builds is the Innas Generator build. Using the full Innas set and 2 pieces of Raiment, this build with the buff to Innas is comparable to Raiment Generator. It may not be able to overtake it on the boards, but it does offer yet another 95 plus monk build that you can gear towards. You lose Depth Digger damage, but you gain some durability and damage from your 10 Mystic Allies themselves. This is too close for me to call personally. R6 or I6R2? My guess is it is up to you, and you now have 2 generator builds to choose from. The second Innis build benefiting from the increased damage buff to the Innis set is the Innis Exploding Palm build. The AoE damage that this build will put out in Season 10 is amazing. In Dense Rifts, this build will allow you to get ahead of that GR timer, which is good because where this build excels at taking out the trash and progressing in greater rifts, it is exceptionally slow at dropping most Rift Guardians. You need to allocate more and more time to the Rift Guardian as you progress in GR levels. But there is something very satisfying about watching everything on the screen die at the same time. And last but not least, we have the Raiment of 1,000 Storms Spirit Generator build. This build has owned the top of the NA leaderboards for the last 3 seasons, fully capable of 95 plus GRs, and should still be a contender for season number 10. This build and the Innis generator excel at wrecking Rift Guardians. Stacking Stricken is this build's specialty. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have 7 builds fully capable of soloing a 70 GR, giving you the ability to start getting those primal ancients and pushing yourself onto the leaderboards. Like I say in most of my videos, play what you want to play and have fun with the game. But if you want to progress on the leaderboards, definitely take a look at some of these builds, because Season 10 definitely offers the most variety for getting into the top 100. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for taking your time and checking out this video. I definitely appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And you can follow me over on Twitter as well, at WolfCryerYT. Thank you guys so very much, and you have a great day. Peace.